Detective Alex Chin sat at his desk, sipping his lukewarm coffee, staring at the file in front of him. The case was peculiar. A 25-year-old woman named Sophia had vanished into thin air. Her father, Richard Langley, a wealthy businessman, had reported her missing. As Alex delved deeper into the case, he discovered that Sophia was a brilliant and ambitious young woman. She had been working for her father's company, Langley Industries, as a financial analyst. Her colleagues described her as diligent and meticulous. The last time Sophia was seen was when she left the office around 5 p.m. on a Friday evening. Her phone and laptop were still at her desk, and her car was parked in the company's parking garage. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Alex decided to pay a visit to Sophia's office to see if he could find any clues. As he arrived, he met with Sophia's assistant, who seemed shaken by the events. She was acting strange on Friday, the assistant said. She received a mysterious message on her phone, and after that, she seemed really distracted. Alex's curiosity was piqued. He asked to see Sophia's phone records and was given access to her email account. As he scrolled through her messages, he found a cryptic message that read, "Meet me at the old warehouse at midnight. Come alone." The message was sent from an unknown number, and there was no indication of who had sent it or what it was about. Alex knew he had to investigate further. He decided to visit the old warehouse and see if he could find any leads. As he arrived, he noticed that the building seemed abandoned, but he could sense that something was off. Alex cautiously entered the warehouse, his eyes adjusting to the dim light. The air was thick with dust, and the only sound was the creaking of old wooden beams. As he moved deeper into the warehouse, he noticed a figure standing in the shadows. The figure slowly emerged, revealing a woman with a hoodie over her head. "Who are you?" Alex asked, his hand instinctively reaching for his gun. The woman hesitated before responding. "I'm someone who knows what happened to Sophia." Alex's interest was piqued. "What do you know?" he pressed. The woman glanced around nervously before pulling out a small device from her pocket. "I have evidence," she said. "But I need to know I can trust you." Alex nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. "I'm listening," he said. The woman handed him the device, which contained a cryptic message. Alex's eyes widened as he read the message, realizing that Sophia's disappearance was more complex than he had initially thought. As Alex read the message on the device, his eyes widened in shock. The message revealed a shocking connection between Sophia's disappearance and a powerful corporation. The woman, noticing Alex's reaction, nodded solemnly. "I know it's a lot to take in," she said, "but I have proof that Langley Industries is involved in some shady dealings." Alex's mind was racing. He knew that Langley Industries was a powerful corporation with many connections, but he had no idea that they were involved in anything illegal. "What kind of dealings?" Alex asked, his pen poised over his notebook. The woman hesitated before responding. "I'm not sure I should say any more," she said. "But I will say that Sophia stumbled upon something big. Something that could bring down the entire corporation." Alex's eyes locked onto the woman's. "Who are you?" he asked. "And why are you telling me this?" The woman smiled wryly. "My name is Emily," she said. "And I'm telling you this because I want to see justice served." Alex nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. He knew that he had to investigate further, but he also knew that he had to be careful. He was dealing with powerful people, and he didn't want to become their next target. Alex left the warehouse, his mind reeling with the new information. He couldn't believe that Langley Industries, a respected corporation, was involved in shady dealings. As he walked back to his car, he noticed a black SUV following him. He quickened his pace, but the SUV kept pace with him. Alex's instincts told him that something was off. He decided to lose the SUV in the crowded streets of the city. After a few minutes of cat and mouse, Alex managed to shake off the SUV. He pulled over to collect his thoughts. He knew that he had to investigate Langley Industries further. But he also knew that he had to be careful. The corporation had powerful connections, and he didn't want to become their next target. Alex decided to pay a visit to Sophia's father, Richard Langley. He wanted to confront him about the allegations. As he arrived at Langley's office, he was greeted by a receptionist. "Can I help you?" she asked. "I'm here to see Richard Langley," Alex replied. The receptionist nodded and picked up the phone. "Mr. Langley will see you now." Alex was ushered into Langley's office. The man behind the desk looked up, a mixture of curiosity and concern on his face. "Can I help you, detectives?" Langley asked. Alex took a deep breath. "I'm here to ask you some questions about your daughter's disappearance." Langley's expression changed, and for a moment, Alex saw a glimmer of fear in his eyes. "What do you want to know?" Langley asked. Alex smiled grimly. "I want to know the truth." Langley leaned back in his chair, steepling his fingers together. "I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about, detective," he said. Alex raised an eyebrow. "Don't play dumb, Mr. Langley," he said. "I know your company is involved in some shady dealings. And I think Sophia stumbled upon something she shouldn't have." Langley's expression changed, and for a moment, Alex saw a flash of anger in his eyes. But then, the man's face smoothed out, and he leaned forward. "I think you're barking up the wrong tree, detective," Langley said. "Sophia's disappearance has nothing to do with the company." Alex snorted. "Save it, Mr. Langley," he said. "I've seen the evidence. And I know you're hiding something." Langley's eyes narrowed. "I think it's time for you to leave, detective," he said. Alex stood up, his eyes locked on Langley's. "This isn't over, Mr. Langley," he said. "I'll find out what you're hiding, even if it kills me." As Alex left the office, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was in over his head. Langley was a powerful man, and Alex knew he would stop at nothing to keep his secret safe. But Alex was determined to uncover the truth. He was going to find out what had happened to Sophia, no matter what it took. As Alex walked out of Langley's office building, he received a mysterious phone call. "Detective Chun," a low, gravelly voice said. "I think I can help you with the Sophia Langley case." Alex's instincts went on high alert. "Who is this?" he demanded. "I'm someone who knows the truth," the voice replied. "Meet me at the coffee shop on 5th and Main at 2 p.m. if you want to know more." The line went dead, and Alex was left staring at his phone in frustration. But he couldn't shake off the feeling that this mysterious informant might hold the key to solving the case. At 2 p.m. sharp, Alex walked into the coffee shop, scanning the room for any sign of the informant. A figure in the corner caught his eye, a woman with a hoodie pulled over her head. Alex approached her cautiously, his hand resting on his gun. "Are you the one who called me?" he asked, his voice low. The woman nodded, pushing back her hood to reveal a shocking face. It was Emily, Sophia's sister. Emily's eyes locked onto Alex's, and he saw a mix of fear and determination there. "I know what happened to Sophia," Emily said, her voice barely above a whisper. "And I know who's behind it." Alex's grip on his gun tightened. "Who?" he demanded. Emily hesitated, glancing around the coffee shop nervously. It's my father," she said finally. Alex's eyes widened in shock. "Richard Langley?" he repeated. Emily nodded. He's been involved in some shady dealings, and Sophia stumbled upon something she shouldn't have. Alex's mind was racing. He had suspected that Langley was involved, but he hadn't expected Emily to reveal that her own father was behind Sophia's disappearance. "Why are you telling me this?" Alex asked, his eyes locked onto Emily's. Emily's expression was resolute. "Because I want to bring my father down," she said. "And I need your help to do it." Alex's eyes narrowed. "What makes you think I'll help you?" he asked Emily. Emily's expression didn't waver. "Because I know you're a good detective," she said. "And I know you want to find Sophia." Alex studied Emily's face, trying to read her intentions. He couldn't shake off the feeling that she was hiding something. "Okay, I'll listen," Alex said finally. "But if I find out you're playing me, you'll regret it." Emily nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "I'll take that risk," she said. She handed Alex a small piece of paper with an address on it. "Meet me at the old clock tower at midnight," she said. "And come alone." Alex raised an eyebrow. "What's going to happen at the clock tower?" he asked. Emily's smile grew wider. "You'll see," she said. And with that, she turned and disappeared into the crowd, leaving Alex with more questions than answers. Alex arrived at the clock tower at midnight, his heart racing with anticipation. He had no idea what to expect, but he was determined to see it through. As he entered the tower, he saw Emily waiting for him. She was dressed in a black jacket and jeans, and her hair was pulled back into a ponytail. "Thanks for coming," she said, her voice low. Alex nodded. "What's this about?" he asked. Emily hesitated, glancing around nervously. "I have evidence," she said finally. "Evidence that proves my father's involvement in Sophia's disappearance." Alex's eyes widened. "What kind of evidence?" he asked. Emily pulled out a small USB drive from her pocket. "This contains documents and recordings that prove my father's guilt," she said. Alex's mind was racing. He knew that this could be the break he needed to solve the case. But as he reached out to take the USB drive, Emily pulled back. "There's something else," she said. "Something that could put us both in danger." Alex's eyes locked onto Emily's. "What is it?" he asked. Emily took a deep breath. "My father is not the only one involved," she said. "There are others, people with power and influence. And they'll stop at nothing to keep the truth hidden." Alex's eyes narrowed. "Who are these people?" he asked Emily. Emily hesitated, glancing around nervously. "I don't know if I should say," she said. "But I think it's someone close to you." Alex's mind was racing. He thought about his team, his colleagues, and his friends. Who could be involved in Sophia's disappearance? Suddenly, a name popped into his head. Rachel, his partner. She had been acting strange lately, and Alex had brushed it off as stress. But now he wasn't so sure. "Rachel?" Alex asked Emily, his voice barely above a whisper. Emily nodded. "I'm sorry, Alex. I know she's your partner, but I think she's involved." Alex felt like he had been punched in the gut. He couldn't believe that Rachel, his trusted partner, could be involved in Sophia's disappearance. He knew he had to confront her, but he was scared of what he might find. Alex's mind was reeling as he walked into the police station. He couldn't believe that Rachel, his partner and friend, could be involved in Sophia's disappearance. As he approached Rachel's desk, he saw her typing away on her computer. She looked up and smiled, but Alex's expression remained stern. "Rachel, we need to talk," Alex said, his voice firm. Rachel's smile faltered. "What's going on, Alex?" she asked. Alex took a deep breath. "I know what you've been doing, Rachel. I know you're involved in Sophia's disappearance." Rachel's eyes widened, and for a moment, Alex saw a flash of guilt. But then, her expression changed, and she looked at Alex with a mixture of anger and defiance. "How dare you?" Rachel spat. "I'm trying to protect you, Alex. You're too close to the case." Alex's eyes narrowed. "Protect me from what?" he asked. Rachel hesitated, and for a moment, Alex thought he saw a glimmer of uncertainty. But then, she seemed to steel herself. "From the truth," Rachel said. "Sophia's disappearance is just the tip of the iceberg. There's something much bigger going on, and I'm trying to keep you safe." Alex's mind was racing. What was Rachel talking about? What truth was she trying to protect him from? Rachel's words hung in the air, and Alex felt like he was drowning in a sea of uncertainty. What truth was Rachel talking about? And why was she trying to keep him safe? "Tell me what's going on, Rachel," Alex demanded, his voice firm. "What's this truth you're talking about?" Rachel hesitated, and for a moment, Alex thought he saw a glimmer of fear in her eyes. But then, she seemed to steel herself. "I'll tell you everything," Rachel said. "But you have to promise me you'll keep an open mind. What I'm about to tell you will change everything you thought you knew." Alex's curiosity was piqued. He nodded, his heart racing with anticipation. Rachel took a deep breath. "Sophia's disappearance is connected to a massive conspiracy," she said. "A conspiracy that goes all the way to the top." Alex's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" he asked. Rachel leaned in, her voice barely above a whisper. "I mean that the government, the corporations, and the powerful elite are all involved in a massive cover-up," she said. And Sophia stumbled upon something that threatened to expose it all. Alex's mind was reeling. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. Was Rachel telling the truth? Or was she just spinning a web of lies? Alex's eyes were wide with shock as he listened to Rachel's words. A massive conspiracy involving the government, corporations, and powerful elite? It sounded like something out of a thriller novel. But as he looked into Rachel's eyes, he saw something there that gave him pause. A hint of fear, a glimmer of desperation. "Tell me more," Alex said, his voice barely above a whisper. Rachel nodded, taking a deep breath. "It starts with Langley Industries," she said. "They're not just any corporation. They're a front for something much bigger." Alex's mind was racing. "What do you mean?" he asked. Rachel leaned in closer. "Langley Industries is involved in some shady dealings," she said. "Deals that involve bribery, corruption, and even murder." Alex's eyes widened. "And Sophia stumbled upon this?" he asked. Rachel nodded. "Yes." She was investigating Langley Industries, and she uncovered something big. Something that threatened to expose the entire conspiracy. Alex's mind was reeling. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. But as he looked at Rachel, he knew that he had to trust her. "What's our next moves?" Alex asked. Rachel's expression turned grim. "We need to get to the bottom of this," she said. "And we need to do it fast. Before they silence us for good." Alex and Rachel knew they had to act fast. They decided to investigate Langley Industries further to see if they could uncover any evidence of a conspiracy. As they dug deeper, they discovered a hidden server room deep in the basement of Langley Industries headquarters. The room was heavily fortified, with layers of security and encryption. But Rachel, being the skilled hacker she was, managed to breach the security systems and gain access to the server room. As they scrolled through the files, they stumbled upon a cryptic message that read, "Eclipse protocol initiated. Package delivered." Alex's eyes narrowed. "What does this mean?" he asked Rachel. Rachel's expression turned grim. I think it means Sophia was just a pawn in a much larger game, she said. Suddenly, the lights in the server room began to flicker, and the sound of alarms filled the air. We've been detected, Rachel said, her voice urgent. We need to get out of here, now. Alex nodded, and together they made a run for the exit. But as they emerged from the server room, they were met with a surprise they never saw coming. As Alex and Rachel emerged from the server room, they were met with a team of heavily armed guards. But before they could react, a figure stepped forward, holding up a hand to stop the guards. Wait, the figure said. Let them go. Alex's eyes widened as he recognized the figure. It was Emily, Sophia's sister. What are you doing here? Alex asked, confusion etched on his face. Emily smiled. I've been working undercover, trying to gather evidence against my father's company, she said. And I think I can help you. Rachel's eyes narrowed. How can we trust you? She asked. Emily's expression turned serious. Because I have evidence that can bring down Langley Industries, she said. And I'm willing to share it with you. Alex's mind was racing. Could Emily be trusted? Or was she just playing them? But as he looked into her eyes, he saw something there that gave him hope. A glimmer of determination. A spark of courage. Okay, Alex said finally. We'll listen. Emily nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. Let's get out of here, she said. We have a lot of work to do. Emily led Alex and Rachel to a secure location, a small apartment on the outskirts of the city. As they entered, Alex noticed a collection of files, documents, and recordings scattered across the table. This is the evidence I've gathered, Emily said, her eyes locked on Alex's. It proves Langley Industries' involvement in the conspiracy. Rachel's eyes widened as she began to sift through the documents. This is incredible, she said. We have enough evidence to bring down the entire corporation. Alex's mind was racing. They finally had the proof they needed. But as he looked at Emily, he saw a hint of sadness in her eyes. What's wrong? Alex asked. Emily's expression turned grim. My father, she said. He's not the only one involved. There are others, people with more power and influence. Rachel's eyes narrowed. Who? She asked. Emily hesitated before responding. The governor, she said. He's been working with my father to cover up the conspiracy. Alex's eyes widened. The governor? That changed everything. Alex's mind was reeling. The governor? Involved in the conspiracy? It seemed impossible, but Emily's words echoed in his mind. We need to get this evidence to the press, Rachel said, her voice firm. But Alex hesitated. If the governor was involved, they couldn't trust anyone. They had to be careful. I'll take care of it, Alex said finally. I have a contact at the newspaper. Someone I trust. Emily nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. I knew I could count on you, Alex. As they made plans to expose the conspiracy, Alex couldn't shake off the feeling that they were in grave danger. The governor and Langley Industries would stop at nothing to keep their secret safe. And then, just as they were about to leave, Alex's phone rang. It was an unknown number. Detective Chun, a low, gravelly voice said. You're getting close to the truth. But be warned. You're playing with fire. Alex's eyes locked onto Rachel's, and he knew they were in trouble. Alex's grip on his phone tightened. Who is this? He demanded. The voice on the other end chuckled. Someone who knows the truth, it said. And someone who's warning you to back off. Alex's eyes locked onto Rachel's, and he saw a flicker of fear there. I'm not backing off, Alex said, his voice firm. The voice sighed. Suit yourself, detective. But know this, you're not just putting yourself in danger. You're putting everyone around you at risk. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. Was this a threat or a genuine warning? Suddenly, the line went dead. Alex was left staring at his phone, his mind racing with questions. Rachel's hand on his arm broke the spell. "Alex, what's going on?" she asked. Alex hesitated, unsure of how much to reveal. But something about Rachel's expression told him he could trust her. "It was a warning," Alex said finally. "Someone's telling me to back off the case." Rachel's eyes widened. "What did they say?" Alex's expression turned grim. "They said I'm putting everyone around me at risk." Rachel's face paled. "We need to get out of here," she said, her voice low and urgent. Alex nodded, his mind racing. Who was behind the warning? And what did they want? As they quickly gathered their belongings, Emily spoke up. "I think I know what's going on," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex turned to her.
"What do you mean?" he asked.
Emily's eyes locked onto his. "I think my father's involvement goes deeper than we thought," she said. "I think he's working with someone inside the police department." Alex's eyes widened. A mole within the department? It was a chilling thought. Rachel's face set in a determined expression.
"We need to find out who it is," she said.
But as they turned to leave, Alex realized that they were not alone. A figure watched them from the shadows, eyes gleaming with malevolence. Alex's instincts kicked in, and he pushed Rachel and Emily behind him, shielding them from the unknown threat. As the figure stepped forward, Alex's eyes widened in shock. It was Captain Lewis, his superior officer. "Captain Lewis, what's going on?" Alex asked, trying to keep his tone neutral. Captain Lewis sneered. "You're getting close to the truth, Chun," he spat. "And that's something we can't allow." Alex's mind reeled. Captain Lewis was the mole? It couldn't be. But as he looked into Captain Lewis's eyes, he saw something there that chilled him to the bone. A cold calculation, a ruthless determination. "You're not going to stop us, Chun," Captain Lewis sneered. "We're too powerful, and you're just a pawn in our game." Alex knew they had to get out of there, fast. But as he turned to leave, he felt a hand on his shoulder. It was Captain Lewis's hand, and it was holding a gun. Alex's heart racing. He tried to shake off Captain Lewis's grip, but the captain's hand was like a vice. "You're not going anywhere, Chun," Captain Lewis sneered. Rachel and Emily were frozen in terror, their eyes fixed on the gun. Without hesitation, Alex made a split-second decision. He grabbed Captain Lewis's wrist and twisted it, using all his strength to break free. The gun clattered to the floor as Captain Lewis cried out in pain.
"Now!"
Alex yelled, grabbing Rachel and Emily's arms. "We have to get out of here." They sprinted down the hallway, Captain Lewis's angry roar echoing behind them. As they burst through the door, Alex slammed it shut behind them, leaning against it to catch his breath. They had to get to a safe place, and fast. But where could they go? As they caught their breath, Rachel's eyes locked onto Alex's. "We need to get to a safe house," she said. Alex nodded, his mind racing. He knew just the place. He quickly dialed a number, and a gruff voice answered. "Max Tavern," the voice growled. "Vinny, it's Alex," he said. "I need a favor." Vinny's tone changed instantly. "What do you need, Alex?" "A safe place to hide," Alex replied. "We're in trouble." Vinny's response was immediate. "Get to Max Tavern. I'll take care of you." As Alex hung up, he turned to Rachel and Emily. "We have a place to go," he said. Rachel nodded, her eyes still wide with fear. "Let's move." They quickly made their way to Mac's Tavern, a nondescript bar on the outskirts of town. Vinny, the owner, greeted them with a nod. As they entered the tavern, Alex felt a sense of relief wash over him. They were safe for now. But as they settled into a booth, Emily's eyes locked onto Alex's. "We can't stay hidden forever," she said. Alex nodded, his jaw clenched. "I know. We need to come up with a plan to take down Captain Lewis and expose the conspiracy." Rachel's eyes narrowed. "I think I have an idea." As Rachel began to outline her plan, Alex felt a sense of hope rise up. They might just have a chance to bring down the corrupt system and find Sophia. But little did they know, Captain Lewis was not the only one searching for them. A new player had entered the game, one with a hidden agenda and a ruthless determination. As Rachel finished outlining her plan, Alex felt a sense of determination wash over him. They were going to take down Captain Lewis and expose the conspiracy, no matter what. But just as they were about to put their plan into action, Vinny burst into the room, his face pale. "What's wrong?" Alex asked, his instincts on high alert. Vinny hesitated before speaking. "There's someone here to see you," he said. "Someone who knows all about the conspiracy." Alex's eyes narrowed. "Who is it?" he asked. Vinny's response sent a chill down Alex's spine. "It's a woman," he said. "A woman who claims to be Sophia's sister." Alex's eyes locked onto Rachel's, and he saw the shock mirrored there. Sophia's sister? But that was impossible. Unless Sophia had been hiding something from them all along. As Alex's mind reeled with questions, the woman walked into the room, her eyes fixed intently on Alex. "Hello, detective," she said, her voice low and husky. "My name is Ava, and I have a story to tell." Ava's eyes seemed to bore into Alex's soul as she began to speak. "Sophia and I were separated at birth," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But we found each other a few years ago." Rachel's eyes widened in surprise. "Why didn't Sophia tell us?" she asked. Ava's expression turned sad. "Sophia was protecting me," she said. "She knew that our family's past was complicated." Alex's instincts kicked in. "What do you mean?" he asked. Ava hesitated before responding. "Our family was involved in some shady dealings," she said. "And Sophia was trying to expose the truth." Emily's eyes locked onto Ava's. "Do you know what happened to Sophia?" she asked. Ava nodded, her eyes welling up with tears. "I think I do," she said. "And I think I can help you find her." As Ava began to reveal more about Sophia's disappearance, Alex felt a sense of hope rise up. They might finally have a lead. But just as Ava was about to reveal more, a loud crash echoed from outside the room. "What was that?" Rachel asked, her voice tense. Alex's instincts kicked in. "I'll go check," he said. As he stepped outside the room, he was met with a sight that made his blood run cold. The tavern was in chaos. Tables were overturned, and glass shattered everywhere. And in the midst of the chaos stood Captain Lewis, a sly smile spreading across his face. "You'll never find Sophia," he sneered. "And you'll never expose the truth." Alex's eyes locked onto Captain Lewis's, and he knew that this was it. Captain Lewis's smile grew wider as he took a step closer to Alex. "You're a foolish man, detective," he sneered. "You think you can take on the system and win?" Alex's eyes never left Captain Lewis's face. "I'm not alone," he said, his voice firm. "And I have evidence." Captain Lewis's smile faltered for a moment, but he quickly regained his composure. "Evidence," he repeated. "I doubt it." Rachel stepped forward, her eyes flashing with anger. "We have enough evidence to bring you down, Captain," she said. Captain Lewis's eyes narrowed. "I don't think so," he said, his hand resting on his gun. Alex knew they had to act fast. He nodded to Rachel, and she quickly pulled out her phone, dialing a number. "Who are you calling?" Captain Lewis demanded. Rachel smiled.
"The press," she said.
"And the police chief." Captain Lewis's face turned white with rage. "You'll never get away with this," he spat. But it was too late. The police chief burst into the room, followed by a team of officers. "Captain Lewis, you're under arrest," the police chief said, his voice firm. As the officers took Captain Lewis away, Alex felt a sense of relief wash over him. They had done it. They had brought down the corrupt captain. But as they turned to leave, Alex saw a figure standing in the shadows. A figure he hadn't noticed before. It was Sophia. Alex's eyes widened in shock. "Sophia," he whispered. Sophia smiled, her eyes shining with tears. "I'm home," she said. Alex's heart swelled with emotion as he rushed to Sophia's side. He wrapped his arms around her, holding her close. "Sophia, I was so worried about you," Alex said, his voice choked with emotion. Sophia smiled, her eyes shining with tears. "I'm sorry, Alex," she said. "I had to go into hiding to protect myself." Rachel and Emily joined in, hugging Sophia tightly. The four of them stood there, holding each other, as the tension and fear of the past few days melted away. As they pulled back, Alex noticed that Sophia looked pale and tired. "What happened to you?" he asked, his brow furrowed with concern. Sophia took a deep breath before speaking. "I discovered something big," she said. "Something that could bring down Langley Industries and the corrupt officials who are working with them." Rachel's eyes widened. "What is it?" she asked. Sophia smiled. "I have evidence of a massive money laundering scheme," she said. "And I have proof that Captain Lewis and the governor are involved." The room fell silent as the weight of Sophia's words sank in. They had done it. They had uncovered the truth. But as they stood there, basking in the glow of their victory, Alex knew that their work was far from over. They still had to bring the corrupt officials to justice and ensure that Sophia's evidence was used to bring down Langley Industries. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but Alex was ready. He knew that with Sophia, Rachel, and Emily by his side, they could overcome anything. Months had passed since Sophia's return, and the city was still reeling from the aftermath. Captain Lewis and the governor were behind bars, awaiting trial for their crimes. Langley Industries was being dismantled, its assets seized by the government. Alex, Rachel, Emily, and Sophia had become local heroes, hailed for their bravery and determination. They had faced down corruption and won. As Alex walked into the police station, he was greeted with a smile by the new police chief. "Detective Chun, it's good to see you," the chief said. Alex smiled back. "Chief, it's good to be here." The chief nodded. "I have some news. The governor's trial is set to begin next week." Alex's eyes narrowed. "I'll be there," he said. The chief smiled. "I knew I could count on you, Detective." As Alex walked out of the station, he felt a sense of pride and satisfaction. They had done it. They had brought justice to the city. But as he looked around, he knew that there was still much work to be done. Corruption still lingered in the shadows, waiting to pounce. Alex's eyes narrowed. He was ready for whatever came next. He, Rachel, Emily, and Sophia had formed a bond that would last a lifetime. Together, they would face whatever challenges came their way, fighting for justice and truth.